right now. What's happening? Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching this. Serena Morales, Kevin Klein, this is Pregaming. Cheers to you on this beautiful Week 10 Sunday fun day.
I don't want to be too honest too early in the show, Serena, but I was trying to make myself a Bloody Mary this morning to kick off Week 10 of Football Sunday, and I didn't have any tomato juice, so I'm using technically kids' tomato soup with vodka to make myself a Bloody Mary today. And I think that is a great DIY recipe for you to make your own low-budget Bloody Mary so you have more money to gamble with today. Of course, our cappers will be joining us in just a bit. We will give you all sorts of locks. And if you're noticing, this doesn't look like all the other bullshit gambling shows with the shiny floors and the suits and ties. It's because I'm currently wearing what I slept in last night. That's right.
While Kevin continues to braggadocious about all of the lovely things and riches he has there in that tiny corner of his, that's why he's the degenerate. We are here live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern. We've got Kenny Betts Big and Danny Brasco. Me and Kenny will pay off a bet today, Kevin, live on the show. The end of the show, after we answer all of your questions, make sure you send in those questions. We'll make sure you get to those. I'm going to do the one chip challenge, and it doesn't seem great, so I popped a Pepto-Bismol, and we will pay off our bets today.
Primetime punishments, we take them very seriously around here. If we lose bets that we call locks, we have to pay off a punishment that is incredibly painful for us and hopefully incredibly enjoyable for you. Today is a payoff to a Monday night game that I believe Serena got on the wrong side of a few weeks ago. The one chip challenge will be the most painful. I mean, we've already had this season people jumping through tables. We've had terribly embarrassing Halloween costumes. I mean, this one is going to be the most painful primetime punishment payoff. You will not want to miss it. If you're with us early, go invite some friends to join us, relatives, enemies. We don't care. We just like to grow the show and build the audience. And in the meantime, let's make some money. I think we got our 2-minute drill to get to before we bring in our cappers and fill out our betting slip.
That's right. Kevin, let's do it. We got the clock. Why don't you kick things off, my friend?
Here's the thing. Quarterbacks are back in a big way.
Adjust that camera.
I want to make sure you get my good angle, guys. Is this my good angle? Hold on. Do I have a good angle? The producer just hit me up and they said, you don't have a good angle. We've just learned that's how your face looks. So I guess that's how my face looks. Sorry, guys. That's me. You can blame my parents for that and a long lineage of awkward looks. That comes from my great-great-grandfather. We called him Goofy Jones. Anyway, we've got quarterbacks are back in a big way today. This is going to be awesome because you get the return of Aaron Rodgers, the non-controversial Aaron Rodgers, the return of Russell Wilson. You know, there's all this talk of will Cam Newton get back? Will he be back in as well? Serena says no, but he will be, I think, suited up on the sideline, which makes me think there's a chance maybe that you see the guy back on the field for the Carolina Panthers. It's just a great. Even Kyler Murray, there's talks that they're saying it's, up in the air, game time decision, but there's a chance you're going to see a lot of familiar faces at QB again today, which is great for gamblers. It's great for confidence. It's also great for line movement, which could mean some value. We'll break it down a little bit later when our cappers are on, but the quarterback's coming back. Sometimes there's an overreaction from the public, and sometimes I think there's a lot of value left out there on the field that we can take full advantage of today.
I mean, Cam Newton being dressed, like what else is new? He dresses up in all sorts of things. So him in a football costume.
Well, he's not wearing it right. He's not wearing a fur coat on the field. Only 17 animals were injured to make Cam Newton's hat for today's game. So that's a good thing. It's like his hat is like a dead Noah's Ark.
All right, quickly, Bill Belichick will face his former team, the Cleveland Browns, today at Gillette Stadium. Now, while the Browns have had a decent season, Cleveland hasn't won a game in New England since Bill Belichick was their coach back in 1992. Their only active running back today is Dearness Johnson. Both Demetric Felton, Nick Chubb, and John Kelly all confirmed out due to COVID-19. Kareem Hunt is on IR, which leaves the team who leads the NFL in rushing yards with one active running back. Fascinating stuff.
Serena,
Kevin froze.
Quick question, Serena. Better dresser, Bill Belichick or Cam Newton? Better dresser.
Ooh, Cam. I mean, look at that. I mean, how could you? I know. Who are you gonna pick? Actually, we'll work that into our rapid fire questions quickly, and then we'll get to our cappers as we always do to give you the beef of the show. But speaking of the Browns, OBJ wrote a handwritten letter. He took a picture of it, which is kind of funny. It's like handwritten, then he takes a picture of it, posted on social media titled "Believe Land." Are you more impressed that it was handwritten or the title of the essay? Like that it has a title.
I'm pretty sure you say letter, but I'm pretty sure once something's handwritten and that long, it's a ransom note. So I feel like that looks like you got to look into that. That's going to end up in some sort of a true crime podcast. You got to hold it up to the light and see what he's really saying. Yeah, it is an interesting move on his part. I wonder if he wrote that letter before or after he purchased his one-way tickets to Los Angeles. I'm very curious where that happens in the mix, right?
Who's handwriting things? It's usually like, and this man wrote it out. With love and gratitude.
These are my handwritten. This is my handwritten notes from the games. So get ready for this. All right, a lot of action there.
Wow. Sean McVay says there is a chance that Odell plays on Monday night. Now with Robert Woods out, do you see OBJ
chance.
Out there?
100% chance. What are you talking about?
He's practiced like one day.
Monday Night Football, Los Angeles. I mean, this is as big as it gets. Like, of course the guy's going to be on the field. Yes. And I already saw a couple of bets. Will he get a touchdown? I believe OBJ will get a touchdown. I like that. That's a plus money bet right now. And you know he will not be satisfied unless he gets the ball in the end zone on Monday night.
Yeah, he needs everything. He needs a lot. He needs handwritten notes, ransom notes. Finally, SNL had Taylor Swift on last night. I think she performed for like the entire show. I want to get a player or like a coach that should be a guest on the show. Your thoughts?
Well, I mean, look, you have to be a superstar, right? There's very few players in the NFL that are famous enough to carry that show. Tom Brady would be one of those players. It's got to be like a household name.
They had like Peyton or Eli on the show at one point.
Yeah, I mean, I believe there's been some cameos that have happened over the years, but my pick, if I could pick anyone right now, past, present, or future, is Warren Sapp. Get Warren Sapp out there. I feel like he would be the most enjoyable for me to watch. There's a history of professional athletes being terrible actors, and I think Warren Sapp could continue that tradition beautifully.
I kind of want to see either Cam or Bill Belichick on SNL.
Yeah.
I feel like Bill could just find it, like he's been holding it all in. You know, that man has just been hiding behind a pair of gray sweatpants. Boom, trajectory. Like this is his new. He quits
like
football coaching.
All of a sudden, he breaks out in Shakespearean trained Bill Belichick. You have no idea. Yeah.
All right, that's it for Rapid Fire. Again, send in your questions. We'll get to those towards the end of the show. We will also pay off our bet. Me and Kenny bets big. Will be eating the Ghost Pepper One Chip Challenge today at the end of the show. So get to that. And again, we're here pre-gaming live on YouTube every Sunday before the slate of games at 11 a.m. Eastern. So with that, why don't we bring you in? Because we're giving you good gambling advice today. And with that, we're going to bring in some of the best, our cappers, Kenny Bets Big and Danny Brasco, a.k.a. Brasco Bets. Kevin and I are looking to make some smart bets today, guys. And so we need your help. We want you guys to tell us why we should pick one game or another, see what makes sense, and hopefully help out our viewers who are also trying to, get some money in the game today. So with that, Kenny, Danny, cheers to you. Kenny, how you feeling?
Cheers,
do you have some milk? Do you have a couple?
Normally there's an alcoholic beverage in this cup. Today, not so much. Filled with milk and this chip, which is gonna just absolutely crush me today. Shit.
Love.
Mind over matter, Kenny. Mind over matter.
Kenny attempted to call out sick for today's show already 3 times. He's already said.
I actually did try to get out of it before the show. You weren't on yet. The producers were not having
that. Way to be, guys.
Oh, man. All right. Want to kick things off? Danny, I'll start with you because you did not try and call out sick. So let's get the healthy on first. Let's start with your first game. I believe Aaron Rodgers, his return, and you have Packers -3. Now, the Packers defense, they've been playing well without two of their corners, and they're all pro edge rusher in the Seahawks, and their secondary has improved as well. You've got both Russ and Aaron Rodgers back. How do you see this game?
Yeah, you set me up perfectly, Serena. I mean, we know Aaron Rodgers is coming back. We know Russell Wilson's coming back. Those are the big storylines. But what I'm investing in more than anything in this game is this Packers defense. Like you said, Zaire Smith, edge rusher, and Jair Alexander been out all year. And this Packers defense keeps proving week in and week out that they can ball. They're top 10 in total scoring, top 10 in passing yards against, and in yards per play. And when you have Aaron Rodgers on the other side of the field as your offensive counterpart, good luck if you can't put up points against them. They're in Lambeau here. The line is -3. So typically for a home team, that's just the given line, right? -3 odds. You'll get 3 points for being home. But Lambeau Field is worth so much more than 3 points, in my opinion. And the Seahawks are 0-6 in their last 6 road games against the spread in Lambeau Field. Packers dominate here. They're 8-1 against the spread. They're the most profitable team to bet on in football. And now we don't have to worry about Jordan Love. A-Rod's coming back. Wilson still got, just fresh off that surgery of the tendon tear. I have to take the home team at Lambeau Field and A-Rod and the Packers here.
Danny, I'm really deciding where to put my money on this game because I've been convinced both ways. Make the smart bet. The public seems to be all over Green Bay for this one. They think it's Aaron Rodgers has something to prove. He's got a lot of haters out there very publicly over the last week. He wants to go out there and put up 75 points and tell everyone to F off. On the flip side, you look at Russell Wilson, who's just been sitting there studying. You think his finger's not 100%. They wouldn't put the guy back in unless his finger was 110%. So I'm not concerned at all about Russell Wilson's health. I think it was probably, to be completely honest, even though there was finger surgery, a bit of as always, when a guy's worth that much to your organization, you are extra careful, extra cautious, probably sat out a week longer than he necessarily had to. So I'm not concerned. I think they're both going to be healthy. They both have something to prove. Teams usually never do great. Usually it's the week before a bye and the week after a bye when teams are most likely to get out of their rhythm. And if you think about what happened with both Russell Westbrook and Aaron Rodgers, they both kind of had a bye week, in their own way last week. A lot of distraction with Green Bay. A lot of Aaron Rodgers, who I think was used to being universally loved, had to hear a lot of bad stuff said about the guy. And I always wonder how much that's going to mess up his head. Look, disappointing Halloween costume followed by all of this negative press over the last week. It makes me think, look, John Wick could not win the game. Is there any reason, Kenny, that I could be persuaded to put my money on Seattle today and fade Danny?
I could definitely try and persuade you, but I'm not going to do that. You already touched on it. The Seahawks are definitely the sharp play here, but Aaron Rodgers at home, whole world's against him, so he's back up against the wall. Aaron Rodgers is not the guy you want to fade in that spot.
It's also
and remember
snowing
when we're questioning
in
Aaron Rodgers' mentality with the whole Olivia Munn situation, right? Coming out of week 1, we're also down on them. Oh my God, the Saints wreck them. That's the only game they've lost this season or haven't covered in this season. So all of a sudden, his mind is a fortress.
And it is snowing in Green Bay, so that is, as it is rain in Seattle, that's what it is. It's just like another sunny day in Los Angeles. Aaron Rodgers doesn't seem to be affected by the snow.
Good old Lambeau game, classic.
No offense, Danny, but as I fill out my first official bet on my bet slip, based on what you cappers say, I am fading you, and I'm taking Seattle with the points. So
fade at your own risk, brother. Fade at your own risk.
Serena, how do you have this one? It's you and I battling, baby. What do you got?
I'm going to be smart and go with our cappers on this one just because it's Lambeau. It's snowing. I do think that, yes, there is this thought that Russ has been sitting back and he's been preparing, but he can't play on the other side of the ball. And the secondary for the Seahawks has been questionable, and I don't think that that's going to change necessarily when it comes to the Lambeau snow. I think there's a reason Aaron Rodgers is as cocky and narcissistic as he is, because he is his world, and his world is Lambeau Field, and he will probably help the Green Bay Packers get this win today. So yeah, I feel pretty comfortable going with our cappers on this one.
All right, you're already divided. Happy divorce as it pertains to our betting. Let's get our prenup in check before we move on with our bet slip. What is the next game, cappers?
So this one's Sunday Night Football here. Yeah, I'll tee it off for you guys. We got the Chiefs against the Raiders in a huge game in the AFC West here that is super impactful. You never really think about a Week 10 game being a must-win scenario, but that's absolutely how I see this for the Chiefs. They're sitting at 5-4 right now, which they got to kind of feel lucky to be. They squeaked out a couple wins against the Aaron Rodgers-less Packers and then the Giants, where they barely took that game on the Sunday night game that is now having Serena and Kenny eat this ghost chip. But the Chiefs have to get it together at some point. I think everyone's just sitting, waiting for that moment for them to do so. Sunday Night Football here. The Raiders are 5-3. The Chargers are 5-3. Like, the division is up for grabs in this game. So I'm going to throw away the points. We know the Chiefs are garbage against the spread. They're 2-7, but this is a classic buy low spot. If the public's on it, it would not surprise me at all. But the Chiefs on the money line in a Sunday night game against the division rival, when are you ever going to get that minus 145? If you want to take the -3, I'm fine with that, but get rid of the points. -1. This is buying low. It's a great price tag. I'm slamming the Chiefs tonight in a signature win that will change their season.
Danny, you got to grow one of these little things right here, man, because you're all about the favor saver, riding the favorites all day today. Look at you. Just like get that favor saver growing right there. This guy's all over the public. I mean, I would think that I thought you got sharp money. I thought you got the inside skinny. You and Joe Public are like slalom skiing today. What's going on with that?
So there's some tough lines out there. So sometimes you got to find the spots where you feel like, the eye test outweighs the sharp signals. And it's worked for me before. Sometimes you just have to see, bet with what you see on the field. Sometimes you got to listen to the market. But in these games, I'm feeling like I'm betting on the superstars to win these games.
All right. Well, I hate to say this because Danny's going to think I hate him, and that's not true. But I I kind of had my mind made up before I listened to the Cappers. I look at, you talk about must-win games, equally a must-win for the Raiders. It's a home game for the Raiders, a primetime game for the Raiders. They performed well at their stadium, at home, primetime, coming off of some losses, a little embarrassing. And I actually think the Chiefs are what the Chiefs are now, which is not nearly as good as they were last season. And you're right, these little close games, they're barely winning, not covering when they do win. I'm not impressed, and I think that the confidence is completely rattled. And anytime you've got the pressure on you of a must-win, you can't be relaxed and cool and confident like the Chiefs have been. We all think that we know what the Chiefs are and what they're capable of, but the 2021 Chiefs are a average to good team, and the Raiders are, I would say, a little bit more unreliable. But I like them at home Sunday night. In fact, when we get to our primetime exclusive prop a little bit later in the show, it's a Raiders-inspired exclusive prop that we'll get to. But I'm all over the Raiders today. Love the Raiders to cover. Love the Raiders to win at home. Love the Raiders on the money line.
Kenny, does Deshaun Jackson help the Raiders get that win? What is it?
Yeah, I think he can definitely help. We've seen week in, week out, the Chiefs secondary. I mean, just Chiefs defense just in general gets exposed almost every week. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Raiders pull that one out at home.
Oh, man.
That's my boy.
Good luck, right, fellas. Well, here comes Mahomes with a fury. It's coming.
Kenny,
We've been waiting.
Let's get to your game, Kenny. The Saints at Titans. The Saints almost completed an 18-point comeback on the Falcons. They lost in that final play, 27-25. The Titans went into SoFi Stadium, and they bullied the Rams. It was never really a competitive game. Very head-scratcher for someone like me who really thought that the Rams were going to get that win. Alvin Kamara is now inactive for Sunday. What are your thoughts on today's game?
I love the Saints in this spot. Sean Payton for his career, 26-10 against the spread on the road when he's coming off a loss. I said on the show last week, I wouldn't be surprised if the Falcons won that game outright, and they did. And now you have the Saints traveling to Tennessee to play a Titans team who have beaten the Colts, the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Rams in the last 4 weeks, and they're only 3-point favorites without Alvin Kamara. No Kamara is a huge blow for the Saints in this game, but when they announced he was out, the line actually didn't move at all. So, the book's trying to trick you to throw more money on the Titans here. Saints getting under 45% of the total bets, but over 60% of the money is on the Saints. So what does that mean? Usually sharp money, bigger bettors are hammering the Saints today in this spot. I've been saying it all season. I'll say it again. road underdogs coming off a loss is one of the most profitable betting strategies to ride on. So I'm going to ride the Saints today and this week. Take them. I'm going to buy the hookup, get them at +3.5 though.
Wow.
I like it. I mean, everything Kenny says speaks to my heart and speaks to my wallet. And I'll tell you why. All you hear about is Titans. That is the public play. Titans. They're winning. Everyone still thinks, I can't believe they're getting them at 3. Everyone's, like an average Joe is like, Titans should be like a -7 favorite or something like that. The Saints, as you know, like if you think about headlines, you think about Titans win. Shockingly, Titans win. Titans upset. And, keep in mind, and I'll get into this a little bit later when I give you my game, which is Arizona, of course, Carolina. But I think everyone, based on last week when all the dogs feasted, so many underdogs getting wins, the public now is all thrown all over the place. And they're thinking to themselves, is this the week the favorites start winning again? Is this the week that I should be putting all my money on the underdogs? And the books are trying to confuse us. That's exactly what they're attempting to do, make us do dumb things with our money so they get it all. And I love what Kenny's saying here. And I think that, yes, when you first look at that game, my first instinct is the Titans is a lock. And that is why I must ride with Kenny and take the Saints on this one.
Yeah, and I got caught up in my ramblings and I left this out, but the Titans defense, bottom of the barrel of the league in rush defense. They're I think 8th or 30th, in rush defense. So the Saints, we didn't see a lot of Taysom Hill last week, and I think that was a little bit in design by Sean Payton. So I think we'll see a heavy dose of Taysom Hill this week. Dual threat quarterback who can run and pass. And I think we'll see Sean Payton have a very, very nice offensive game plan drawn up.
That's a good point. Although to the other side of it, while the Titans did seem to do okay with their run game, they are missing their best player. Danny, does that affect that idea that maybe the Titans get this win?
On paper it does. But Kenny brings up a really good point about gambling lines. Like, remember when Devontae Adams missed a game for the Packers and the line swung like 3 points? And all of us were sort of baffled, like, why does the line move 3 points for a wide receiver? Now he brings up the point that it's barely moved for Alvin Kamara. And a lot of the time when you see a line just stay pasted there, regardless of where the money is flowing in, it oftentimes is a bookmaker's trick. They want you to just keep pouring in money on a line that just simply looks too good to be true. A lot of the time it really is. So according to a lot of sharp signals and what Kenny's going off of, the Saints do look like a nice play. I tend to agree with him.
Okay.
Serena, I'm riding Saints. Are you riding Saints with us, or what's your bet slip look like?
This was a hard one, and I wanted to stay away from it, considering obviously your points they're valid. I think that the Titans are just a better team than the Saints. The Titans, look, they're the third most sacked team in the NFL, trailing like the Bears and the Broncos. The Saints defense is one of the best. They have the 5th lowest scoring defense right now. So while I like Mike Vrabel, I do think the Titans are a better team overall. I think the Saints have proven just against the Buccaneers and last week, while they didn't get that win against the Falcons, they can hang. They're in there. And so, I think this will be a lock for all of us.
Oh boy, we're trusting that Saints defense. Let's go.
Yeah.
Who day?
Who day?
I promise you right now, you start watching other gambling pregame shows, and you're going to see a lot of them all over the Titans today. That's going to be the public pick. You watch like Fox pregame, you watch CBS, Boomer. You're going to see a lot of them yapping, talking about a lot of stats, and they're all going to say Titans are unstoppable. So you just remember when we're all cashing in at the ATM a little bit after the games today, that you heard it right here, because that's very rare to get four of us all kind of locked in on that, which normally now would convince me to go the other way and tell you guys to F off and take all that money and put it back. But I'm not doing that. I'm convinced. I'm locked in. It's written in ink, which means it must stick. And that's where we move to. Kenny, your next game. What do you got?
On that paper.
You guys asked me a couple weeks ago a team that I was buying in to make the playoffs, and I said it was the Vikings. And since then, they've just continuously shot themselves in the foot. In back-to-back weeks, they've blown a lead to Cooper Rush, the backup quarterback, and then a huge lead. They just, dwindled away to Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. So now they find themselves in an absolute must-win game against the Chargers. The matchup, seems a little scary on paper. Justin Herbert throws the ball all over the field. But with a pass-happy offense that the Chargers run, it's actually a perfect matchup for the Vikings. They ranked 6th in pass defense and 8th in the league in pass rush. The last time the Chargers played teams in the top 10 in pass defense, it was the Cowboys and the Patriots this season. They lost both of those games. So I think I spoke about how Sean Payton is, a monster coming off against the spread, coming off a loss. Mike Zimmer is a beast too. When Mike Zimmer's teams have coming off back-to-back losses, he's 11-3 against the spread. So coming off back-to-back losses, 11-3 against the spread. I'm going to ride the Vikings today. Buy the half a point again. Take it at +3.5.
That's Kenny's favorite holiday gift, by the way, the half a point. He loves giving that to everyone this year for the holidays. If you're on Kenny's gift list this year, spoiler alert, you're getting a half a point. Congratulations.
The best gift.
I mean,
that's the best gift.
They're following the advice. It's the difference between a lot of money and losing a lot of money. So I think they'll be happy with that gift.
Here's the thing. The Vikings, 7 of their last 8 games have been decided by, I think, 1 possession. 5 of their 8 games have come down to their final play. So to be fair, they're winning games on final plays. It's against the Lions and the Panthers. And I think that's what's happening here. There's a theme that they can't close out games in the fourth quarter or overtime. And I just think that, yes, they can compete with every team, but at some point we're just kind of figuring out, is this a fluke or is this who they are? And they're a 3-5 team. And I think the Chargers are just a better team in general. And so this one makes me a little uncomfortable. Also, the news with Dalvin Cook and those accusations while he's still able to play, given the fact that it's in civil court right now. But if you're running back, your top running back is having some sort of, mental situation, what's going on in his head? Is he fully present in these games? I would then give it to the Chargers as sort of an outlier there.
Kenny has come strong about the Vikings a few times over the course of the season. My memory is not great. Thanks a lot, THC. But I will say the following. I believe that whenever Kenny is pretty confident about the Vikings have done exactly what Kenny says. They are a team that I've always said, even from the beginning of the season, I think people have them as a mid-range team. I think they're actually a good team playing as a mid-range team. I like the Vikings in this one as well. The Chargers have let me down a few times, and it's always when I'm the most confident the Chargers are definitely going to get themselves a win or definitely going to cover that I get the most screwed by them. Historically, even back when the Chargers were in San Diego, the Bolts have been screwing me over and over and over again like lightning from God. Just lost. So I once again ride with Kenny on this one and say the Vikings seems to be the right play. Love it at 3. He says buy a half a point. Sure, why the hell not? Let's do it at 3.5. Remember, if you got questions about games we're not talking about during the show, you can get them to us. We will answer all of them in the rapid fire Q&A. You don't even need to take your Adderall or Ritalin to follow up with the rapid fire Q&A. We will get through them very quickly. Every single question you have, prop bets, fantasy stuff, parlay action, teaser stuff, whatever it is that pertains to you and you only, because that's how much we care. Get them to us, and we will answer them all rapid-fire style at the end of the show coming up in the next 20 minutes plus.
I love Kevin with the little salmon bomber drop there.
To your point, Kevin, we're here trying to make the best bets, and we have 2 of the best cappers around giving us advice. As a reporter here, I'm giving, obviously other information. I'm thinking about, back to, the first week of the season when the Packers had that embarrassing game against the Saints, and who was their quarterback? It was Aaron Rodgers, and, Aaron Rodgers' ex just had a baby. And so who's to say that the mental side of things, I think it's also helped in some ways where the Raiders, they lose their head coach and they play really well against special teams coordinator, now interim head coach, Rich Bisaccia. So sometimes there are things that can affect games that we're maybe not looking into, but I assume, Kenny, you've been right. I think the Vikings are a great team. They're sort of a middle tier team for me because I can't seem to get a feel. The fact that they just can't close out games, that's what's tough for me in betting this game today against the Chargers.
It's crazy. Think
So-
about how different, everyone would be looking at this Vikings team had they, hit that game-winning field goal
Yeah.
against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Had they not blown a double-digit lead to the Ravens last week. If they're winning these games, they're probably considered one of the best teams in the NFL right now. Kirk Cousins, I think he has 17 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, so he's playing lights out.
Yeah.
They just can't seem to get it all firing on all cylinders.
Also, Serena, to what you said a moment ago, and why this is different, and why we talk about obviously stats and numbers, but we also talk about the way that others are looking at the game. If you remember on Thursday, and we could roll the tape in a moment. I'm sure we don't have it though because we've been too busy trying to buy potato chips this week. But if you Thursday night, I was telling you about the guy I met at Costco and how he was a Miami guy, and he gave a great reason why the Dolphins were going to win that game. He was probably the only guy publicly talking about the Dolphins weren't only going to cover; they were going to win that game. Everyone else in the world was going the other way. And then lo and behold, everything the guy said panned out to be accurate. Just a random guy with a nice deep, dark Southern Florida tan in a Costco gave us all the intel. I met him at the meat counter. That right now, that guy's my gambling Sherpa. So we will give you all the hot takes from regular people we run into around here. And yes, a lot of people also commented Costco's got great steak. So let's not sleep on that either. That's a great pick too. Okay.
I'm just picturing Kevin like going up to all the little sampling lines, like the cheese and little meats, taking the blankets, and he's like, "Hey man, you think the Packers will cover? Hey man, do you think the Dolphins with the points?" He's just
That's right. That's right. That's exactly right.
It's a new show idea for Kevin.
Boom.
I love it.
Samples and spreads, boys. Samples and spreads.
Producer, let's
Pregame,
go.
I'm sure.
Let's green
make
light
it happen.
that.
All right. Well, where are we at? Our games now, huh? We got our games?
Yeah.
Finally, it's our time to shine? What?
You always
Carolina.
shine, Kevin. You always
Yeah.
shine.
At week 10, I'm
Yeah.
still waiting to shine. It's going to happen eventually. Just once I overdose on tryptophan next week at Thanksgiving, I will be shining all over this place. Guys, this Carolina Cardinals game is really interesting because still unsure who will be playing quarterback for the Cardinals. Colt McCoy stepped in last week. Great game. Was able to cover. Was able to help. Carolina continue to win, which is important. But let me say this much, guys, because if you look at this one, you look at the spread, and you look at it, and you go, "Wow, Arizona is favored by 9 points." This thing opened; they were favored by 10.5. And Kenny and Danny will explain to you the value of a spread moving from a over 10 spread to an under 10 spread. It's a very significant 1.5 line shift, more so than if it moved from, let's just say, 6 to 4.5. This is a very different move, and I think it means a lot. It's part of the reason why, even though, you're seeing big headlines about Carolina off the field, getting Cam Newton back, a homecoming. Will he play today? Will he not? No one's really sure. Serena doesn't think he will. I could see him going in second half if they're down. I just personally think if you look at the way the public is moving, last week was a week all about the underdogs, and now I think people are looking at giant spreads, and they're going, anything can happen any given Sunday. 9 points is a lot. We're seeing crazy stuff happen on Thursday night. Week 10, it looks like the dogs are continuing to eat. I look at it and go the opposite way. I think Arizona is at home. I think that I've oftentimes taken them when they've been huge favorites this week, covering spreads at 14, covering spreads of 11, covering big double-digit spreads. And whenever I put my money on Arizona to do that, they have nicely rewarded me. So I look at this one and I go, take Arizona. Doesn't matter. You want to buy half a point, get on the Kenny train, go ahead. It's not going to matter. I think Arizona is going to win this one easily by 14 points. Double touchdown win over Carolina. Carolina's in a rebuilding week and a rebuilding phase right now. So I don't really care. If Kyler Murray is in, great. But if not, I'm feeling good either way. Who's riding my ticket now?
You're going full Mad Dodger. Last week, Dodger, before Murray was announced in or out, he was all over the Cardinals. He's announced out. The spread shifts, away from them, and they still smack anyway. So it looks like Colt McCoy can get it done. And you've had a pretty good read on the Cardinals. You covered a 20-point spread on them before. So if you're not afraid to lay the 9, Kevin, even though you faded me just for camaraderie, I'll ride with you.
It's my boy.
Yeah, I mean, looking at that Carolina performance last week, I was on Carolina against my Patriots and ended up, eating my words there because the Panthers But no Darnold this week, right? Like the Panthers outside of Sam Darnold
Yeah.
actually looked pretty good. Sam Darnold was the the catalyst for half the Patriots offense last week. So it'd be curious to see if Cam Newton gets in this game at all, and if the Panthers can keep this one close.
Yeah, there might be just sort of like this excitement that, Superman season 2 is coming back to town, and maybe the team gets some sort of excitement and rally around, whether it's PJ Walker or if Cam Newton does get into the game. Maybe this Panthers team is sort of reunited and excited to get out there and play some football.
PJ Walker, XFL star, XFL MVP, PJ Walker.
There you have it.
So Serena, just so it's on the record now, are you fading me or are you riding with me on this one? It sounds like you're going Carolina.
I would just, the 9. I learned from Kenny many times on this show. 9 points is a lot, and I just look. Carolina in the beginning of this season was a playoff contending team, and they're trying to stay in this season somehow. So they got their former quarterback of 9 years to come back and join them. And while, he may not have the entire playbook ready to go in such a short period of time, that's why they're going with PJ Walker today. They do have CMC back. They're slowly trying to pick up some pieces here, and it's not like their defense isn't helping them keep things together. And to Kenny's point, outside of Sam Darnold, this team doesn't look that bad. So now with no Sam Darnold behind center, maybe this is, just a really large spread for this team. So well, this is why we're both eating chips today.
Yeah.
I don't
Serena, we're eating this.
Yeah, I don't like all this ripping on Sam Darnold, so let me back him up. If Cam Newton is Cam Newton, Sam Darnold is Fig Newton. All right, that's where he falls in this team. The excitement of that is exciting. So just be if we're gonna go ahead and call names, let's call them by the right name, okay?
Done deal.
Serena, what's your game this week, huh?
All right. Yeah, real exciting game. The Buccaneers are going to your favorite team, the Washington football team. Yeah. And look, Washington's football team is allowing the 4th most points per game in the NFL. They're the worst in passing yards allowed per game. Montez Sweat, his jaw is injured. He's expected to be out for at least 4 to 6 weeks. Both teams are coming off a bye. The Buccaneers are hungry after that loss to the Saints. And Washington has lost 4 games in a row. 3 times this year, Tampa Bay has played against a bottom 10 defense. And in those games, they've averaged over 40 points a game. But to Kevin's point, teams coming off bye weeks somehow perform in unexpected ways. There's also a lot of injuries to both teams, but specifically to the Buccaneers. No AB, no Gronk again. So I actually like the under in this game. Captain Underpants, shout out to you. I also like Mike Evans for over 71.5 receiving yards, and I'm taking the over in receptions. Washington's football team is allowing a lot of points, and the Buccaneers, they're able to score a lot of points. But I can see like Heineke, he's going to pass a lot, obviously with the Buccaneers secondary. That's sort of their weakness. So I expect a turnover, perhaps a defensive score. But I am taking the under. I think there is this sort of overcompensation that, oh my gosh, the Buccaneers are going to score so many points. But I also don't see Washington putting up many points as well.
Yeah, that Washington defense, which came in highly touted after last season, has been getting shredded this year. But to your point, like underbettors like to say, for an over, takes 2 to tango. And I don't know if Washington can put up a number that's enough to get to the over 50.5 here. So I'm interested. You've intrigued me. Serena, you're becoming a big unders fan lately, I see.
What's happening?
Serena, the Washington football team, affectionately known by us fans as the WFT, has had me saying WTF more times than ever before this season because of just how consistently bad they are on the field, off the field, offensively, defensively. Like, I can't even find something. Even like a diehard fan can find something to get excited about. Oh, we got a great punter or something like that. That doesn't matter. There's nothing I can get excited about. I'm on the verge right now. I technically have no gear. All my gear is previous named Washington football team gear, which you can no longer wear in public without risking being thrown in the trunk of my car. So I'm really at a point now where I'm thinking about just completely giving up my fandom to this football team. They have lost me money. They have not gotten me any wins. So I'm at a point now where I don't know what to get excited about. I'm unders doesn't matter. I mean, I think Tom Brady could bring the game over by himself, but I'll go with you. You've given me confidence. You're clearly going under on buttons on your shirt today, so I'm going to go under.
Oh, Kevin. Sometimes I hate you and sometimes I still hate you. Let's get to your totally exclusive prop bet.
Guys, let's get to it. This is a bet you'll only get right here. A lot of bets you can get elsewhere, overs, unders, lines, parlays, teases. We'll get to all your questions, of course, the rapid fire Q&A. This is an exclusive prop bet you'll only get right here. I want to get the official Capper's take on this. The game in Vegas tonight, I think, is going to be one of the more exciting games of the week. Of course, you've got the Raiders, you've got the Chiefs. Is there anything you should be doing in Vegas if you're not going to the game? We've got odds on people. These are the only acceptable things to be doing right now in Vegas if you're not planning on going to the game tonight. At 5-2, if you're selling your watch to Pawn Stars because you listened to Kenny's 1 o'clock picks, I understand that's acceptable. 6-1, you're arguing with the front desk at checkout about what that resort fee is all about. I mean, come on, that's ridiculous. You're in Vegas. You didn't use the office center. You weren't faxing anything. Let's cut it with this resort fee. It's nonsense. At 10-1, 3 words, guys. You know what I'm talking about. Wheel of Fortune, the greatest slot ever. That's acceptable, right? You can all, yeah. 200-1, you're actually at the game, but you're too drunk to realize it. That's an acceptable excuse as well. And, of course, 1,000-1 is you were planning on going to the game, but you were beaten up by a bunch of Raiders fans, and you're in a random alley behind the Stratosphere. Acceptable as well. Thank you for that. That is a totally exclusive prop bet you'll only get right here. No money can actually change hands. Let's get to it. Of course, listen, this is exciting. We are the pregame crew. We talk about everything happening on the field, off the field, weird takes, Costco takes, gut feelings, and in a few moments, Serena and Kenny will be primetime punished for a wrong pick they made a few Mondays ago. Well, they'll be eating the hottest chip known to man and woman and child. You will not want to miss it. Pain will be endured for your pleasure.
Fantastic. That should be the theme of our show. But this is Pregaming at 11 a.m. Eastern. On Sundays, you can catch us before the Sunday slate of games. Please send in your questions. We'll get to those in just a second. We've got our prime time bet we want to get to first. It's the Chiefs at the Raiders. And, I have a real grudge against the Chiefs these days, considering this chip that I'm holding in my hand here. That being said, let's talk about tonight's primetime game and how we feel about it so that we can place a bet and pay it off on this show for pure entertainment purposes.
Well, Danny is brimming with confidence. He said everything that Johnny Public has said all week. The Chiefs are going to win. The Chiefs are the better team. The Chiefs are in the middle of a 2-game win streak right now. It's all about the Chiefs. Mahomes looked like classic Mahomes for one pass he threw toward the end of the last game. So he's doing what the public is doing, and he's putting all of his money on the Chiefs. Well, I got news for you. Danny's going to be living under a bridge next week because that's not going to happen. And we will be there. Make sure you have good Wi-Fi under that bridge, man, because I want to make sure you're a part of the show. I believe that the Raiders will win the game. They will be at home. They will put on a show, just like they've done many times during their primetime games in Las Vegas. And, Kenny, are you going to ride with me so that we can be victorious in this primetime punishment game?
Yeah, the last time I rode with the Chiefs, I'm stuck holding this little sign from this chip I'm about to eat. So the Chiefs are dead to me. Public all over the Chiefs tonight. Sunday night dog. Raiders at home. We've already seen the whole season how the dogs have done in primetime games. So, yeah, give me the Raiders. I think they definitely cover the spread, and I think there's definitely a good chance they win this game outright.
Danny, I need you to help.
Serena, public money's not going to scare me. I mean, Kevin brought it up, all the dogs that covered last week, right? The public gets them right, too. So Vegas had a killing last week. The Chiefs, this is a must-win game for them. If they lose this game, season is cooked, in my opinion. This is a chance to leapfrog the division a little bit and actually take first place, because Kenny's got the Vikings, right? We're all kind of feeling the Vikings. The Chargers take a loss there. It's the Chiefs division from here on out. They squeaked through 2 ugly wins. I certainly don't think Mahomes looked like classic Mahomes, right? He's not there yet. But Kevin, when you faded the Raiders last week against the Giants, and look, it's a week later, but the Henry Ruggs distraction and the team being in disarray from that, right? That was one of the angles that you brought up. I don't know if that's over a week later. The Gruden, right? We rode with the Raiders after firing Gruden, and that was good. New culture, new change, right? Guy's got to go. He's out of there. The team picks up a win. Then Ruggs is gone, gets into a tragic accident. I don't know. I think that locker room dynamic does more than, head coach, and that's something we brought up last week. But I think that organization's sort of in disarray now, and it should be a fun game. But with all the money, I think this is the season on the line. So I'm going to go bold Chiefs here. I'll go with the public. It's not going to scare me away, and hopefully, win, lose, or draw. I know even if I'm under that bridge, I'm going to have better Wi-Fi than you, Kevin.
True. Facts is facts. This is dial-up, baby. I'm keeping it alive. I'm hipster cool. All right, dial up. Who's with me? Ride with the dial-up.
The Raiders are like the home team for the books. Like they're the Las Vegas Raiders. So, Brasco, it's pretty bold to fade them on a primetime spot.
I like that. The books home team. That's kind of good. I'm going for it, man. This is the season right here.
Also, something to think about. This is a hot take. You're not going to get anywhere else, but all of the pools now at the Vegas hotels have been closed for the season. So think about that. You think these Raiders are not focused on football finally? No more lazy river rides around the Mandalay, all right, or wherever the Delano. Okay, I'm just saying this is where it's at right now. It's focused on football. It's a big night for the Raiders. I'm very excited. I may potentially hop on a plane and go to that game later. That's how excited I am to see it happen. I'm just saying.
I love it.
At
Here,
least,
even bolder claim.
what?
Even bolder claim for you, Serena. Chiefs defense steps up tonight. Tyrann Mathieu, huge turnover. Chiefs defense makes some bold plays.
And he's been close. And I will say this, look, it was the John Gruden story, and then it was they lost one receiver, obviously, but you guys are forgetting Arnett, another first-round pick for the Raiders, also got cut recently because of what he was posting on social media. So now you've got 2 receivers out. They picked up Deshaun Jackson, but Deshaun Jackson didn't seem to work well for the Rams. And so you have to consider all of these things. And I just feel like, I'm riding with you, Danny. We're going Chiefs today, even though, staring me in the face is this. We'll get to that in a second. But either way, Danny, do you have one more thing to say? And then we'll get to fan questions.
Oh, my God.
Let's go, Serena.
Chip?
Let's go. Now, without further ado, I'll let you guys get into the chip.
Oh, my God.
Did you eat the chip?
I was trying to open it. I got a little seasoning on my tongue.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness, this thing is.
Yeah, we're getting. By the way, guys, we're getting inundated with comments right now about do not touch your
Let's do
eyes.
it.
Once you touch the chip, do not touch your eyes. Kenny, do not touch your eyes. You need those babies,
do it.
okay? We need those. Let's get to the
Dude,
rapid fire
this
Q&A
thing is-
questions. We will wrap up the show with eating the chip that has been called the hottest chip in the history of mankind. This chip right
Holy
here, I
shit.
believe, is actually the first official cure for COVID is this chip. We will break it down a little bit later. Serena will take hers down. Kenny will. It's primetime punishment. Kenny looks like he's already been punished just by licking the chip dust.
Yeah.
All right.
First
Hey,
question.
first
Guys, rapid fire. Here we go. How good are the Titans? Are they a lock versus the Saints? We'll give this one to Danny Brasco. Danny.
No, they're not a lock versus the Saints for all the points we brought up. I'm just staring at Kenny processing this chip. They're certainly not a lock, though. Watch out for that game. A lot of sketchy line movement. Chiefs should be more than +3 dogs. They're not, and that defense will keep them in the game. We all kind of like the Saints +3.
Yeah, we were all over the Saints on the show today if you missed it. Yeah, don't fall for the Titans hype machine. The hype machine is cranking out. Woo!
Oh
Kenny,
my God.
Kenny,
It's
sure-
happening.
Holy shit.
Whoa.
Holy
It's happening.
shit, dude.
Okay.
Wait till
Next
you take the actual
question.
chip. Next question, rapid fire.
Oh
Go,
my
Serena,
God.
hit it.
Okay. Yeah, more yards this week. Rodgers or Wilson? Danny, in that beautiful snow in Lambeau?
It's got to be A-Rod. And
Oh my God,
Wilson, I mean, Kenny, fight through it. Battle, Kenny, battle. It's got to be A-Rod. Wilson, we're not sure. I mean, the finger's probably good to go, but there's an issue there. A-Rod coming
Holy
back
shit.
here. Jordan Love had his chance, but back to the superstar. I'm going Aaron Rodgers for the pass yards. Kenny, how we living?
Not good. The milk tastes so weird.
Oh my God, he's dying. Am I supposed to open this? I thought we were answering questions. Okay.
Yeah, well,
What's
yeah,
your
Kenny,
Serena? Yeah.
yeah, Kenny got excited like always. It was a premature thing. It's never happened to him before.
Holy
Chip a
shit.
little- Oh, and there goes Kenny. And there goes
We
Kenny.
lost him.
All right, moving on. More yards. We talked about this. Well, let's go. Next question. Here we go. Are the Chiefs back? Can they win out? You know my thoughts on that. No, the Chiefs are not back. The Chiefs, I understand why you would think that, but they're not back. They will lose today, and that's it. We will think about this season as, oh, well, what happened? They'll be back next season. Don't worry about it. They will not win out. I saw that bet. I saw a lot of people taking the bet. Oh, here goes Kenny. Back from the dairy farm. Kenny bets big. Is lactose tolerant all over pre-gaming.
This is the holy crap. My mouth is numb. My throat is on fucking fire. Holy shit.
Let's
Okay.
go. Next
The only
question.
thing
What
that
do we
helps
got?
is leaving
Serena.
milk in my mouth.
Tom
Serena, what do
Brady
we got
is
next?
plus 570 for anytime touchdown this week. Do you love it or do you hate it? Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. He's playing against
Well, that's
Washington
not a passing
football team.
touchdown. That's him. That's him running the ball in the end zone, holding onto the ball. He won't do that.
Yeah.
He's protected. They're not putting him in the end zone. He's more
Whoa.
valuable than Kenny's throat right now. I mean, listen, Tom Brady. They're not going to let the guy, even if it's first and goal on the one. Tom Brady's not going to be QB
No.
sneaking that in. This guy's. He's ancient, and they're protecting him, as you know. He's got hair transplants. You got to protect those. He's not going to run the ball in. I don't think that's a good bet at all. I think he'll throw for a few, but he's not running the ball in. Tom Brady, no, he's not.
I don't think their defense has been very good. The Washington football teams, they're not going to.
You know, plus
he'll probably
570, anything you can make an argument from a sprinkle, but I agree, Kevin. They got to protect that man. You know, he's a treasure at a museum at this point. No sneaks for Tom.
Rapid fire. Next question. What do we got?
Just chugging milk.
Kenny,
All right, I need a one.
going through it.
Was I
It's the
supposed
only
to
thing
eat
that
this
helps.
thing?
Yes.
One side of a
yes.
6-point tease. I already hit the over. What do you got? All right, I'm going in.
Let's
Okay,
go to the
start
dairy
talking.
farmer. Kenny, what are your thoughts? Someone needs one side. Someone needs one side of a 6-point tease. Kenny, what do you got?
Saints.
Can you say it without sweating?
No. Wow, this is. Don't anyone watching this, don't ever do this. Holy crap.
I kind
I'm
of
going.
want to do it now.
You know, Serena's Latin by nature, so she is going to say this is probably mild. This isn't even going to bother her at all.
Latin by
gotta
nature
go get
is the Hispanic
I finished
hip hop
my milk.
group to naughty
That's her
by
hip-hop
nature.
group.
Little
Her side
Like
project.
it's spicy. It's spicy, but
She got
I
no
can
pro-
feel
yeah.
it. It's not the worst thing.
You took a little piece.
Okay, I'm working on
Kenny,
it.
did you? Kenny, did you just slam the whole chip?
There's a little bit left, but I'm not finishing it.
Well, then that means the bet is incomplete. We'll have to do it again next week.
I heard.
Oh my god.
Starter sit. Brandon Bolden.
Woo!
What do you guys got? Look at the question right here, Danny. I'll give you this one because you're the only one who can keep a sentence together right now. Who do you got in today's game? Starter sit. Couple of players. Serena is now
That thing
losing
is
it.
from the devil.
I got
It's
this all
from the
recorded.
devil.
I'll go while they battle through the fiery pits of hell that's inside their chest and throat. I'll go Ramondre Stevens. He looked like a nice scat back. He was making all these jump cuts last week against the Panthers. He looked really good. I think he gets rewarded for that with more touches. So maybe give Ramondre Stevens a try. I really liked what I saw from him.
Yeah, here's the thing. In the middle of this rapid fire Q&A, the fire is being provided by the hottest chip in the world, Serena and Kenny paying off a bet that they lost on a primetime punishment game earlier this season. And now Serena looks like she's in heat. So get ready for this. Things are exciting. Kenny's finally back to answer some more of these rapid-fire Q&A questions. Let's hit the next one. Here we go. Your questions, our answers. What do you think I should throw $100 on? The GOAT Tom Brady throwing for 4 or more TDs, or the GOAT running for 7 yards? God, that's a great question. I think he could pick up
4 or
7
more touchdowns.
yards. I mean, even a few checkdowns. Kenny, what do you say as you sweat through the answers?
My stomach is starting to hurt because I just drank about half a gallon of milk already. This is brutal. My mouth is hot. You gotta go Brady 4 more touchdowns. I don't think. When was the last time he's run for 7 yards in a game?
I gotta say, you guys are doing better than all the videos I've watched. Like, I've seen a lot of buckets immediately come out. You guys are handling it pretty well. I respect you both.
Mira,
I'm trying
about
to
start
preserve myself
talking in
while this show is
Spanish
running.
over here. This
As
shit
soon as
is
we hang up,
hurting.
I'm running to the bathroom.
Diablo.
Serena hit us with the Míralo, Latin by nature, about to come out.
Ay, Dios mío. That thing is the freaking devil.
3-leg parlay today. A 3-leg parlay. Look, we've all agreed on a few. Play over-unders if you're going to go with the parlay. I like taking the under in the Tampa Bay game, Tampa Bay, Washington. I think that'll be under. I like that as well. If you're going to go with some underdogs, some favorites, I take Arizona. I said it earlier. We were all over New Orleans today. That seems like a good parlay leg, but I don't know. Danny, any thoughts? Someone's trying to put a parlay together?
I'm wildly confident in the Chiefs. I may look like a bozo at the end of this, but I love the Chiefs. You put a 1 o'clock game, a 4 p.m. game, and then you need some entertainment and bring it home at night. Put in the Sunday night game. The Chiefs are getting their signature win of the season so far. I'm that confident.
Serena?
I'm hurting. Don't ask me any more football questions today. Dios mío.
Serena's pick is Ay Dios mío. That's her pick for today's game. Steelers 5.5. Big Ben's on COVID list. He's not playing. Obviously, you probably know that by now. I don't really like the Steelers to favor by anything. I don't know. I feel like take the points and go the other side completely. Anyone feeling good about the Steelers with or without Big Ben?
I think this is for a fan. I think this box is for a fan. It's supposed to fan you down.
That's an interesting game because, you would think losing Big Ben, the Steelers would take a step back, but it's crazy because Big Ben seems, if you're watching these games, he looks like the only piece that's really holding the Steelers back from being a very, very good team. So, I'm curious to see how you replace him with someone younger, a stronger arm. Maybe they look better.
Kenny, are you implying that someone within the organization gave Big Ben COVID to get him off the field?
I never really thought of that, but when you put it that way, Kevin, wouldn't be surprising. Wow,
funny how Serena's gone full voodoo on the show right now. She's completely gone voodoo. Careful touching your eyes, guys. We were just informed our legal department at Pregaming did not approve what we're doing right now. Serena, Kenny's now bounced back from eating the hottest chip in the planet. Packers -2.5, Steelers -5.5, Vikings favored by 2.5, Saints 5.5, Patriots alternate line parlay. That's a plus $7,554 bet. Who else likes that, guys? I don't know. Look at the board. Anything there you don't like? Anything you'd like to swap out?
You know what I don't like? This damn ghost pepper chip. That's what I don't like.
Going Saints alt line -5.5 is probably your biggest risk. And I'm not in love with the Steelers either there, but like plus 7,554, that I'm not mad at it. Ride, brother, ride.
Yeah, guys, I on Thursday night, just not to toot my own horn, but I hit something I talked about on the show. I hit a plus 37.50 prop, and it was the first to score. I had Dolphins defense or special teams first to score in the game. That was a plus 37.50 bet right there. So every once in a while, these money, we always say sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle a little bit for the fantasy, and that's a great fantasy play right there. Love it. Final question before we're out of time today, and we got to wrap it up and hose it down. Let's see, what do we got? Philly 0-4 at home, 3-2 on the road. Did the Eagles win against the Broncos today? God, I don't know. Eagles on the road, I don't love nearly as much as I like Eagles at home. Kenny, your thoughts on that?
Eagles have, I've been heavy on the Eagles the last few weeks. They let me down last week. I thought they were going to pull out that win against the Chargers. Sorry, you guys. It's like there's so much saliva in my mouth right now. There's like there's like my stomach, there's like a ball of fire in my stomach right now. It hurts really bad. This is a tough game. I think we see the Broncos come back down to reality. They had the big emotional win last week against Dallas after trading Von Miller. I think this week we'll see them kind of take a step back. The offense will sputter a little bit, and I think the Eagles can get that win.
Kenny, I was sure you were going to be all over the Eagles here.
Oh my God!
A dog came to help. I was screaming
Don't let
too
her
much
lick
in the
it.
house.
I was going to say, don't let that dog get a taste of any. No crumbs.
We'll have to call
That's the
PETA.
cheapest way to get your pet spayed or neutered, I think. That's the cheapest one. Kenny, as it's been pointed out, Kenny is now resembling an emoji right now at this point in the show. Serena, you handled it much better than Kenny did. Kenny, the big baby of the day. Well done, Serena Morales, proving that you are tough as nails.
This chip is as shitty as Washington football team all season long. Like, it slowly hurts you more and more and more as you digest it.
I like the accent really coming out on Serena right now.
Oh, yeah. Scoville levels also correspond with accent uptick in
yeah, is that what it is? Well, in that case, it's time for Serena and I to say adios to our cappers. Kenny bets big. Kenny, what is the first thing that you're going to do immediately following today's show? Is it cut your tongue off or?
Go get more milk. I'm out of milk now.
Yeah, good idea. It does a body good.
Danny,
Okay,
how good is
It's honestly the only thing. It's the only thing that helps. When the milk was like sitting in my mouth, I didn't feel it. Right now, my mouth is on fire. My throat is on fire. My stomach burns. There's a little. I ate most of it. There's a little crumb left in here. So for everyone to say I didn't eat it all, I ate most of this chip. There's that little piece left.
Oh, what does it come in? Like a wax, spicy coated wax? That looks awful.
Yeah, once you open it, you could smell it's going to be bad.
Well,
I need to go wash
this is
my
why
hands.
it's important. You got to win your primetime punishment bets on the show. We just announced ours for tonight. The stakes of tonight's game we will give you tomorrow, but when we go live before the Monday Night Football game. But I will say this. Also, tomorrow you should know, if you're not watching us on Instagram, tomorrow night you should know that both Danny and Kenny, I think it's Kenny who said he believes his pick of the season. So we'll get to that. That's tomorrow night. We'll be on Instagram Live before the game. Of course, you can follow us there. Thanks for hanging out today. We say goodbye now to Kenny and Danny. Serena, let's wrap it up. You will have the final word.
Never lose a bet. Just don't. Be smart. And I gotta tell you, man, that was painful. And I hope that I'm on the winning side as I continue to go with the Chiefs again. Kevin?
Yeah, listen, once again, I'm the only guy that has not lost a primetime punishment bet on the show. I'm the degenerate. It's what it says beneath my name. I don't think that holds true. I think expert, we should change that to say expert. Serena, go ahead and hose off your tongue. We will see you back here again next time. Thanks for hanging out. This is your first time joining us. We're here every single week. We'll do it again. You'll get sick of us by the end of the season, but you'll be filthy rich by then. So what does it really matter, right? Red Cup Nation, salute you. We'll be back again tomorrow night at the Instagram Live, and have a great rest of the week. Great Week 10 gambling Sunday. Let's make some money, guys. Go, go, go.
I just took Pepto-Bismol to help me friggin' digest that. Lord, I'm sweating. Enjoy! Happy Sunday.
I take Pepto-Bismol after each show, regardless of what we're eating, for the record. For the record.